The biggest issues focused around for marketers today really are focused around access and control to their consumer data and creating a direct connection with those consumers. There's been a growing group of intermediaries in between the brand and their consumers that are capturing a good deal of that data and really obscuring their understanding of the consumer. We think that things like marketing clouds and the tools that adtech are bringing today allow brands to collect that data directly and be able to use it to create better insights on their consumers and actually move those intermediaries out of the way. So the dangers to brands about losing control or not having total access to consumer data is that they're giving other people leverage over that relationship. Whether it's a retailer or a social network, in one place they're trying to distribute product so that retailer can actually have a lot of control over how that product gets distributed and what they charge for it, et cetera. And another, it's where they're buying media or advertising, trying to reach a specific consumer. So their inability to actually understand how they're reaching it is really controlled by someone who's trying to sell them something back. So brands, again, have several risks by not truly owning and understanding that consumer and their data around that consumer. The whole concept of marketing clouds and engines that can control data is one in which there's been a lot of focus on the technology itself, but little focus on what that engine is driven by. We look at it as an engine that's driven by fuel, and fuel is what really makes a difference. And in the case of marketing clouds, that fuel is data. So the better the data, the more efficient the engine's going to run, and the better results you're going to get out of it. So your insights will be clearer, the ability to address or target those consumers will be more accurate, and the ability to plan and understand what those consumers will do in the future becomes more effective and more efficient by having better data. So when we look at the engine versus fuel analogy, fuel really is the differentiator these days, and the better the fuel, the better performing marketing cloud. A key part of why that data can be important is to help marketers understand the unknown about their consumers. So they can capture a good deal of data through some interactions that they may have with those consumers, but it's really about what those consumers are doing when they're not interacting with my brand, because it becomes a factor in what their lifestyles are, who they are, and how we can promote other things to them, create different relationships with partners. The unknown is a critical factor, and the unknown comes from what we like to call third-party data. It's data that's occurring with a brand or with a consumer when they're not dealing with your brand directly.
Some great examples of data scarcity that exist in the market today are FMCG companies that are selling a lot of their product online or through retailers.